You are sitting in a room that is quiet, yet you hear a roar. You are sitting in a body that is safe, untouched by fire or blade, yet your heart hammers against your ribs as if you are fleeing a predator. Your breath is shallow. Your muscles are tight, coiled for a strike that never comes. Look at your hands. They are empty. Look at the space around you. There is no enemy here. There is no sudden catastrophe breaking down the door. There is only you, the silence, and the noise within your own mind. This is the paradox of your anxiety. You are suffering from a disaster that has not happened. You are bleeding from a wound that has not been inflicted. You are living in a future that does not exist. And in doing so, you are destroying the only thing that actually does, the present moment. Why do you do this? Why does the human mind, the most powerful tool in nature, turn against itself with such violence? It is because you have forgotten what is yours. You have extended your will into a territory where it has no power, the domain of tomorrow. You believe that by worrying, by churning the same dark thoughts over and over, you are paying a toll to ward off bad luck. You think that if you suffer enough now, in your imagination, you will be prepared for the suffering of reality. But this is a lie. Anxiety is not preparation. It is the abuse of your imagination. It is a fever. When you worry about the future, you are essentially trying to solve a mathematical equation that hasn't been written yet. You are trying to brace for an impact from a stone that hasn't been thrown. Let us strip this away. Let us look at this future you fear so much. What is it? It is a void. It is a blank canvas. It is utterly neutral. The future does not care about your hopes, and it does not conspire against your happiness. It simply is not here. When you look at it and feel fear, you are not seeing the future. You are seeing a reflection of your own insecurities projected onto a blank screen. You paint monsters in the dark and then tremble at your own artwork. The Stoic does not deny that the future brings change. We do not deny that fortune is fickle, that health can turn to sickness, that wealth can turn to dust, or that peace can turn to war. These things happen. They are the rhythm of the world, as natural as the rising sun or the falling leaf. But the Stoic realizes one fundamental truth that shatters the foundation of anxiety. You cannot control the external world. You can only control your reasoned choice. There is a fortress inside you, a citadel. It is the seat of your ruling faculty, your mind, your judgment, your will. Everything outside of that fortress is not up to you. The economy, not up to you. The opinions of your boss, not up to you. The traffic, the weather, the diagnosis, the accident, not up to you. When you invest your peace of mind in things that are not up to you, you become a slave. You become a leaf in the wind, blown about by every rumor, every shift in circumstance. If your happiness depends on the future going a certain way, you are already a hostage. You say, "But I must worry or things will go wrong." Consider the archer. The archer stands at the line. He holds the bow. He chooses the arrow. He checks the wind. He draws the string back to his cheek, feeling the tension. He aims with all his skill and focus. All of this, the preparation, the aim, the release, is within his control. This is his craft. This is his duty. But the moment the arrow leaves the string, it is no longer his. A sudden gust of wind may take it. The target may move. The arrow may shatter. If the archer ties his self-worth to the arrow hitting the bullseye, he will be anxious before he shoots, and he will be miserable if he misses. But if he ties his self-worth only to the quality of his aim, to the discipline of his practice, then he is free. He has done what he could. The result belongs to fate. You are the archer. The future is the target. Your anxiety comes from trying to control the arrow after it has already left your hand. Return to the fortress. Return to what is in your hands right now. Observe your anxiety closely. Dissect it. Do not run from the feeling. Turn and face it. Like a shadow, it is terrifying only when you flee. When you shine the light of reason upon it, what do you see? Usually you see that you are afraid of a story you have told yourself. What if I lose my job, you ask? That is the event. If I lose my job, I will be a failure. I will be destitute. I will be humiliated, and my life will be over. That is the judgment. The event is manageable. Men and women lose jobs every day. They adapt. They find new paths. They survive. It is a practical problem requiring a practical solution. But the judgment is a catastrophe. The judgment is what causes the panic. Epictetus taught us that it is not events that disturb people, but their judgments concerning them. You are not afraid of the future. You are afraid of your opinion of the future. You have defined an outcome as bad or unbearable before it has even touched you. Who told you it would be unbearable? Have you not endured hardship before? Look at your own history. You have suffered pain, loss, embarrassment, and confusion. And yet, here you are. You are still breathing. You are still thinking. The human spirit is tougher than you give it credit for. You are not glass. You are made of sterner stuff. Anxiety lies to you. It tells you that you are weak. It tells you that if the worst happens, you will crumble. But reason tells a different story. Reason reminds you that you possess resources you have not yet called upon because you have not yet needed them. When you stand in the shower and the water runs cold, you gasp. But then you adjust. Your body regulates its heat. You endure. The mind is the same. When the difficulty arrives, the strength to bear it arrives with it. You do not need the strength for tomorrow's burden today. You only need the strength for today's burden. Stop trying to borrow trouble. The present moment is the only place where you can be virtuous, the only place where you can be happy, the only place where you can be alive. If you are washing the dishes, wash the dishes. Feel the water. Feel the porcelain. If you are writing, write. If you are walking, walk. Do not wash the dishes while living through a divorce that hasn't happened. Do not walk down the street while mourning a death that hasn't occurred. Confine yourself to the present. This is not ignorance. This is focus. It is the razor-sharp clarity of the sage who knows that the past is a memory and the future is a mist. You are exhausted because you are trying to carry three loads at once: the weight of the past, the burden of the present, and the terror of the future. No back can bear that. Put down the past. It is dead. Put down the future. It is not yet born. Carry only the present. It is light. It is manageable. Let us go deeper into this fear. What is at the very bottom of it? Usually when we strip away the layers of what if I fail or what if I am alone, we find the fear of losing control. We want the world to behave. We want the universe to follow our script. We act like tyrants, demanding that reality submit to our desires. And when reality, vast, ancient, and indifferent, does what it pleases, we throw a tantrum. We call this tantrum anxiety. To be a Stoic is to resign as the general of the universe. You are not in charge of the stars. You are not in charge of other people's minds. You are not in charge of the outcome. You are a soldier in the line, responsible only for holding your post. Your post is your character. Your post is your integrity. Your post is your capacity to love, to reason, and to endure. No one can take these things from you. The future cannot steal them. Calamity cannot burn them. Only you can give them away by surrendering to fear. Imagine a man who has built his house on a cliff's edge because he likes the view. Though he knows the ground is unstable, every storm terrifies him. Every rumble of thunder makes him shake. He lives in constant anxiety because he has built his peace on a foundation that can slide away at any moment. Now imagine a man who builds his house on the bedrock, deep inland. The storm comes, the wind howls. He hears it, but he does not tremble. He respects the storm, but he does not fear it, for his foundation is solid. Most of you have built your happiness on the cliff's edge of externals: reputation, bank accounts, physical pleasure, the praise of others. These things are unstable ground. Of course you are anxious. You are waiting for the landslide. The Stoic builds on the bedrock. We build on virtue. We build on the knowledge that as long as we keep our minds rational and our actions just, we are safe. Not safe from pain, but safe from harm. For to the Stoic, the only true harm is to lose one's own soul to vice, to fear, and to ignorance. Take a deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs. That sensation is real. The worry about next week's meeting is not. You must learn to separate the noise from the signal. The noise is the chatter of your fears asking impossible questions. What if? What if? What if? The signal is the voice of reason, calm and quiet, asking only one question. What must be done right now? If there is an action to take, take it. If you can prepare, prepare. If you can plan, plan. The Stoic is not passive. We do not sit idly by. We work. We strive. But we do so without attachment to the result. We do the work because it is the right work to do, not because we are trying to bribe the future. If you have done what is necessary, then there is nothing left to fear. The rest is in the hands of nature. To worry after you have acted is madness. It is like running alongside a train you have already boarded, thinking that your running will make it move faster. Sit down, the train is moving. You cannot push the river. Let us speak of the catastrophes you envision. You lie awake at night, playing out the worst-case scenarios. You visualize the bankruptcy, the breakup, the illness. You run these movies in your mind with high-definition clarity, feeling every ounce of the shame and the grief. You think that by doing this, you are protecting yourself. But there is a difference between the anxiety of the coward and the rehearsal of the Stoic. We practice a discipline called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. Ideally, this sounds like what you are already doing. It sounds like worry, but it is the exact opposite. When you worry, you are visualizing the future with the hope that it will not happen, while trembling in fear that it might. You are begging reality to spare you. You are saying, please, not this. You are the victim in your own mind. When the Stoic visualizes difficulty, he does so to strip the mask off the monster. He looks at the worst-case scenario and asks, if this happens, what will I do? What virtue will I need? He sees the bankruptcy, and instead of seeing the end of his life, he sees an opportunity to practice frugality and humility. He sees the illness, and instead of seeing tragedy, he sees a chance to practice fortitude and patience. He looks the nightmare in the eye and realizes that even there, in the wreckage, he would still have his reasoned choice. He would still be a human being capable of nobility. By facing the worst in your mind without fear, you rob the future of its power to surprise you. You have already been there. You have already walked through the fire in your thoughts and seen that you did not burn. Seneca reminds us, he robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand. Anxiety is a refusal to look at the truth. It is a squinting of the eyes. Open them. Look at what you fear. Dissect it. Is it death? Is it poverty? Is it loneliness? These are heavy things, yes, but they are human things. Billions have walked these paths before you. Do you think you are too fragile to walk where they have walked? You are not unique in your suffering, and that is a comfort. You are part of the great human chain. The strength that was in your ancestors is in you. It is dormant, perhaps, buried under layers of comfort and distraction, but it is there. Anxiety is merely the rust on the blade. The steel remains. Consider how much of your anxiety is tied to the opinions of others. You fear the future because you fear humiliation. You fear failing in the eyes of the tribe. You worry about your status, your reputation, your image. You curate your life for an audience that is largely indifferent. Ask yourself, who are these people you are so desperate to impress? Who are these judges you are so afraid of? They are people just like you. They are waking up with their own anxieties, their own insecurities, their own confusion. They are not thinking about you. They are thinking about themselves. And even if they do judge you, so what? A rock thrown in the air gains nothing by going up and loses nothing by coming down. You are who you are. The praise of the crowd does not make your character better, and their criticism does not make it worse. If you are honest, if you are kind, if you are disciplined, the insults of the world are like arrows shot at a stone wall. They bounce off. Why would you hand the keys to your tranquility to a stranger? Why would you let a comment on a screen or a glance in a hallway determine your state of mind? To be anxious about reputation is to be a puppet, and the strings are held by madmen. Cut the strings. What is reputation? It is a noise. It is clacking tongues. It is temporary. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, the most powerful man on earth, reminded himself daily that soon he would be forgotten. Soon everyone who knew him would be dead, and everyone who knew them would be dead. The applause fades, the statues crumble, the books rot. If everything is ephemeral, if everything is slipping away like sand through fingers, then what is there to be anxious about? You are holding on tight to things that were never meant to be kept. Imagine you are at a banquet. The host passes a dish. You take a portion, you enjoy it, and you let the dish pass to the next person. You do not grab the platter and scream, "This is mine forever." You do not weep when the plate is empty. You enjoyed it while it was there. Life is the banquet. Health, wealth, friends, lovers, they are the dishes passed to you. When they are before you, treat them with care, enjoy them, be grateful for them. But do not cling. Do not dig your fingernails into them, because the host, nature, will eventually ask for them back. Anxiety comes from the delusion of ownership. You think you own your future. You think you own your body. You think you own your status. You own none of it. You are a steward, not a master. If you can accept that everything you have is on loan, fear vanishes. You cannot lose what you never truly own. You can only return it. "I have lost my money," you say. "No," the Stoic replies. "You have returned it." "I have lost my child." "No, you have returned him." This sounds cold to the modern ear, which is addicted to attachment. But it is not cold. It is the ultimate freedom. It is the only way to love without fear. If you know the glass is already broken, you cherish every moment it holds water. If you know the future is not promised, you inhabit the present with a ferocity and a gratitude that the anxious man can never know. The anxious man is always halfway out the door, eyes fixed on the horizon, missing the meal in front of him. The Stoic sits at the table. Let us speak of the when-then trap. When I get that job, then I will be calm. When I pay off this debt, then I will be happy. When I find a partner, then I will be complete. This is the architecture of misery. You are postponing your life. You are placing your peace on the other side of a condition that may never be met. And even if it is met, the goalpost will move. As soon as you get the job, you will fear losing it. As soon as you find the partner, you will fear them leaving. The mind that is anxious is not anxious because of the circumstances. It is anxious because of its habit. You have trained your mind to look for threats, and it will find them in paradise just as easily as in hell. You must be happy now, or you will be happy never. Peace is not a destination. It is a manner of traveling. It is found in the way you pour your coffee. It is found in the way you listen to a friend. It is found in the way you accept a traffic jam, not as an insult to your schedule, but as a moment of unexpected stillness. There is a concept in Stoicism called amor fati, the love of fate. This is the antidote to anxiety. Anxiety says, "I hope things happen my way." Amor fati says, "I love whatever happens." Do not merely bear the necessary, love it. If the flight is canceled, love it. It is a chance to read, to people watch, to practice patience. If the project fails, love it. It is a lesson in what does not work. If the weather is cold, love the cold. Feel it bite your skin. It is real. When you love fate, you become invincible. How can you be hurt by the future if you have already decided to welcome whatever it brings? You are no longer a beggar asking for scraps of good luck. You are a giant who feeds on everything. The fire consumes everything thrown into it and turns it into flame. Be the fire. You are waiting for the storm to pass. The Stoic learns to dance in the rain. But how do we do this? How do we turn these high-minded words into a reality when the chest is tight and the mind is racing? You must understand the physics of the mind. Your mind is like a vessel of water. When you run around in panic, the water is agitated, muddy, and unclear. You cannot see the bottom. You cannot see the reflection of the sky. To clear the water, you do not stir it more. You do not try to smooth the waves with your hands. You simply leave it alone. You let it settle. This brings us to the discipline of assent. Every moment, the world presents you with impressions. An impression is raw data. Impression. My boss frowned at me. Then instantly, your mind tries to add a judgment. Judgment. He hates me. I am going to be fired. The Stoic creates a gap, a pause. In that pause lies your freedom. You look at the impression, my boss frowned, and you say to it, stop. You are just an appearance. You are not necessarily the truth. You refuse to give your assent to the added judgment. You strip the event naked. What actually happened? Facial muscles contracted, brows furrowed. That is all. Maybe he has a headache. Maybe he hates you. Maybe he was thinking about his lunch. You do not know. And because you do not know, you do not panic. You stick to the facts. The facts are rarely scary. The stories you weave around the facts are the stuff of nightmares. Practice this. Become a watcher of your own thoughts. Stand at the gate of your mind like a sentry. When a thought comes, I am going to fail, demand to see its credentials. Is this true? Is this helpful? Is this within my control? If it is not, turn it away. You are the king of this fortress. Do not let every vagrant thought sleep in your throne room. And what of the ultimate anxiety? The silent hum beneath all others? The fear of time. You feel it slipping away. You worry you are wasting it. You worry you haven't done enough, seen enough, been enough. You treat time as a resource that is running out, and this scarcity breeds a frantic, low-level panic. You rush through your breakfast to get to work, rush through work to get home, rush through the evening to get to sleep. You are rushing toward the grave. Seneca observed, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. You waste it in anxiety. Every minute you spend worrying about the future is a minute stolen from your life. It is a minute you were not present for. You were physically there, but mentally you were a ghost, haunting a time that hasn't happened yet. To stop worrying about the future is to reclaim your time. It is to expand your life. A day spent in full presence, in deep attention to the task at hand, feels like a week. A year spent in anxiety feels like a blur, a blink of an eye, gone before you tasted it. You want a long life? Then stop shortening it with worry. Stop skipping over the boring parts. Stop fast-forwarding through the discomfort. Be here. Even if here is difficult, at least it is real. At least it is yours. Let us synthesize this into a weapon you can carry, a blade for the mind. When the anxiety rises, when the chest tightens and the thoughts begin to race, follow this protocol. 1. Stop. Physically stop. Freeze, do not act, do not speak, do not type. The machine is overheating. Do not press the accelerator. 2. Define the fear. Pull it out of the shadows. Write it down if you must. I am afraid that X will happen. Be specific. Name the monster. 3. The dichotomy test. Look at X. Is it entirely within your control? If yes, then it is a problem to be solved. Get to work. If no, and it is almost always no, then it is an external. It is not yours. Repeat the phrase, it is nothing to me. This does not mean you don't care about the outcome. It means you do not stake your soul on it. 4. The worst case visualization. Stare at the worst possible outcome. Really look at it. Realize that if it happens, you will still be you. You will still have your reason. You will still have the sky above you and the earth beneath you. You can bear it. You have borne worse. 5. Return to the immediate. Look at your hands. Look at the room. What is the very next thing you need to do? Not the big thing, the small thing. Tie your shoes, send the email, drink the water. Do it with total excellence. This is the practice. It is not magic. It is training. You will fail. You will fall back into worry. You will get swept up by the noise. Forgive yourself and begin again. Stoicism is not a certificate you earn. It is a path you walk. The path is not a straight line. It is a spiral. You circle back to the same lessons, but each time from a higher vantage point. You are building an inner citadel, stone by stone. Every time you refuse to follow a panicked thought, you lay a brick. Every time you accept an uncomfortable truth without flinching, you mix the mortar. Eventually, the walls will be high enough. Eventually, the storm will rage outside, and you will sit by the fire within, warm and unafraid. You are not merely a leaf in the wind. You are a spark of the divine fire. You possess a fragment of the Logos, the rational intelligence that orders the cosmos. You were built for this. You were built to navigate chaos with reason, to meet hatred with kindness, to face uncertainty with courage. Do not insult your nature by trembling. The future is a mist, the past is dust, the present is stone. Stand on the stone. Remember, you suffer more in imagination than in reality. You cannot lose what is not yours. The obstacle is the way. The world will continue to spin. Empires will rise and fall. Fortunes will be made and lost. The sun will explode and the stars will go dark. In the face of such vastness, your anxiety is small. It is a speck. Let it go. Breathe. You are here. You are capable. You are free. The only time you have is now. Do not let it slip through your fingers while you grasp at the smoke of tomorrow. Hold your ground.